this is our last hope that Trump's words will create this necessary push to all our allies who are looking at him, hoping that he will make a decision. I think J.D. Vance on Munich Security Conference was pretty adamant, saying that Europe's defense is now Europe's responsibility. And now it is time to, after everybody cried about it, now it's time to accept it and move along, knowing that we are here together and knowing that no help would come. If it comes, great, but let's depend on ourselves, rely on ourselves, and figure out how to stop Russia together.
Now, NATO jets have been scrambled over Poland after a fresh Russian attack on Ukraine. Ukraine claims a record 479 drones were used against its towns and cities overnight. The attack is reported to be the biggest on the west of that country since the start of the invasion. We're joined by Kira Rudik, the leader of the Ukrainian Holos Party in Kyiv. Hi to you, Kira.
Hello, John, and thank you so much for having me.
As always, Kira, great to hear your voice. So it's just been the biggest overnight airstrike of the war. Tell us about what happened and what it was like where you are.
John, we've been talking for more than 3 years right now, and every time the attack on our cities, the world is saying, oh, that was the biggest attack and the most amount of drones and missiles, and we get to survive through it thanks to our armed forces. But these attacks intensify, and of course it feels like Armageddon. Of course it's very scary. Of course it's super dangerous, and we are so happy to be alive when the sun comes out. But the question remains, why is it happening? Why is Russia able to ramp up their attacks? And obviously it is because they are able to purchase and manufacture different kinds of weapons and supplies. They are able to purchase drones. They are able to overpass sanctions. They are able to continue increasing their military capacity. And then I'm having a question to everyone responsible, at least for the sanctions. If you cannot give us the weapons that we need right now, because Europe obviously needs to manufacture them first, why can't we get and Russia to stop being able to purchase what they need for the manufacturing of weapons in the European countries, in the democratic countries?
Yeah.
This has been an open question for a while, but right now I think all the leaders need to take it very seriously.
Kira, what is the current state and strength of Ukraine's air defences? Because they are being tested every night now.
Well, John, obviously I cannot disclose the current state, but I can tell you worse, much worse than sitting in a bomb shelter and waiting for these attacks to pass is to think that our armed forces may not have enough of the means to take the missiles down, and they will be forced to make tough choices. This is like truly scary when we know that there may be not enough of the ammunition to go ahead and defend ourselves. This is why our call has not changed since the day one. Give us enough air defense systems so at least we would know that we will be able to survive through the night. And this is not yet the case, same as it is not yet the case to stop Russia from manufacturing drones and missiles and purchase the necessary particles for them.
Oh, Kira, our thoughts as always are with you. Last week, we heard President Trump saying that he meant to leave Ukraine and Russia to keep fighting. In his words, like children in a playground. Is it your feeling that that's made a difference to the war?
Oh, of course it is upsetting when you hear something like this from someone who claimed to be a leader of the democratic world. And I would laugh with everyone who laughed at this comparison if it was not people's lives at stake, because we know that because of this statement, because of American, basically, president pulling out of trying to resolve the conflict, trying to put pressure on aggressor, there would be more people who wouldn't see the next day. There would be more soldiers, and there will be more people in the peaceful cities about whom you will read in the news, oh, another X amount of people killed after the overnight attack on Kyiv, on Sumy, on Dnipro, on Kharkiv. And this is our reality. And in this reality, you cannot afford to make such jokes or such statements when the aggressor and the victim are put like at the same level, saying, oh, they're just kids fighting.
Yes.
No, it is an aggressor committing all kinds of the war crimes in the democratic state of Ukraine.
Yes, and I guess your hope now, Kira, is that hearing Donald Trump say what he said about leaving Russia and Ukraine to fight it out, that will then be a strong cue for Ukraine's friends to step up with more support and more supplies without waiting to see if the president intervenes, because clearly he's not going to do that.
This is our last hope that Trump's words will create this necessary push to all our allies who are looking at him, hoping that he will make a decision. I think J.D. Vance on Munich Security Conference was pretty adamant, saying that Europe's defense is now Europe's responsibility. And now it is time to, after everybody cried about it, now it's time to accept it and move along, knowing that we are here together and knowing that no help would come. If it comes, great, but let's depend on ourselves, rely on ourselves, and figure out how to stop Russia together.
Right. Now, just some more news over the weekend, Kira, where we saw more on the exchange of prisoners. There's a great lack of trust for reasons we can all understand. The deal is supposed to be the exchange of wounded soldiers and the dead. And what has been happening? It is a difficult thing, I guess, in Ukraine to see and to watch.
No matter how many people we get to return, it's a sacred thing for us, John, because some people will return to their homes, to their families, and I cannot even imagine what the families feel when they get the call from their loved ones who are returned from the imprisonment in Russia. This is why, even if these talks that happened in Istanbul led to even one of those exchanges, it would already mean a lot to us. We can complain about the details, etc., but the truth is we got to return some of our people home, and this is super critical. The bigger question is, of course, that if the war is not over, if Russia continues attacking us, there would be more prisoners, and there would be obviously more dead. And this is why we said that we are ready for a ceasefire, we are ready to discuss any type of peace deal. But as we've been saying over and over and over, Russia is not ready to that. For them, it will be very easy to stop the war, But this is not obviously their intention. This is what we tried to deliver to President Trump. And this is the reality on the ground.
All right, Kira, thank you so much. Kira Rudik, the Ukrainian MP, leader of the Holos Party. Kira, our thoughts, as always, are with you. Do stay safe.